Hey everyone, welcome to I guess it is another live video of Real Hazardous. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go live on Instagram as well. First time doing that, so hopefully that works. How's it going, everyone on Instagram? We're going live. Welcome to Real Hazardous live video. I'm live on YouTube and Instagram. I guess there's probably an app that would allow me to do both. So hopefully next time I can broadcast from one platform.
Very close around again.
So, for you people on Instagram, you can see me and Kayla. My dad's actually over here. The screen's not big enough. If you go on YouTube, you'll see him. You guys want to say hey?
Hey.
Hey, Instagram. Glad to have you.
Cool. See a lot of people joining. Thank you guys so much. Gonna give everyone a minute to log on and stuff. So if you got any questions, feel free to just throw them out there.
Any jokes?
If you got any
We're always
jokes,
good with a joke. What do you call a 45-pound kingfish on the deck of the Real Hazard?
what?
A 45-pound kingfish.
Second
Stay
place
with
winner.
me. Yeah, that'll catch up with you here in a little bit.
Right. They
I
say
didn't think it's funny.
they say you can tune a guitar, but you can't tune a fish.
Let's see. Shirley says, "Hey JJ."
Who's that?
Shirley.
Hey, Shirley. Miss you guys down there at the office.
Hey Darren, I see Darren.
Oh, that's
yeah.
too.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
See,
How are things going?
Things are going pretty well.
We're actually having a great time. I'm telling you, retirement is good for you, even if it ain't totally 100%.
What depth were we fishing for that king, and was it on the downrigger?
No, it was on the top line.
The farthest out line.
Farthest out, which is probably like 70, 80 feet.
Yeah, so and what's cool about that is we didn't get any hits on the downriver lake, did we? Did we get a
we got a lot of sharks on the downrigger.
Yeah. So the top water was where it was at.
Yeah. And our depth was, I think we were about what?
25 to 30.
25, 30, yeah. So I was gonna say.
We actually started out at 45 to 50, but the sharks were so bad we came in.
Yeah, we were deeper in a ton of sharks, so we came in and
You ready for a joke?
Yeah.
Frogman Fishing said, "Why are frogs never stressed out?"
I give up.
I don't know.
They eat whatever bugs them.
I like that.
I like it. It's good. Thank you.
Did we catch an remnant fish or pogie?
Pogey.
Pogey, and what was pretty neat is we didn't have any big. It was a rough morning getting bait that day, so we didn't have any real big pogies, and we put the biggest one we had out there and ran it right back, and he slammed it, or she slammed it, I guess it was.
So we can go ahead and actually kind of start. Like we'll give you a lowdown on the tournament. We'll give you guys. The tournament did not start out as planned.
For us.
Maybe for someone. I mean, even for a lot of people, the day before, a lot of people pre-fished. Bait was thick. Bait was big.
And it was everywhere.
It was everywhere. So we're like, this is gonna be great. We get out there early. We look in. We don't mark nothing. We're not finding anything. We keep looking. Sun comes up, and still nothing. And there's all these boats coming out. It's hard to see. No reports of them being found. So, fishing starts at 7, and my plan was to have bait and be on the spot waiting at 7, but it's past 7 and we don't have bait. So we're thinking about just, trolling dead bait, just so we can get out and fish. And then when all the boats leave, we'll catch our live bait. But as we're trolling down, kind of towards the red tops, an area with red rooftops, we're like, we'll just look along the beach, and when we get there, we'll just head straight out and fish. But thankfully, when we get there, we see some flip, and it still took us a minute to find it. They were real shallow, right in the breakers. It was like 6 feet of water, and we got one cast in it. And we're like, let's go.
Got what, 60, 70 baits in one cast?
Yeah, and we get to the spot, we start fishing, and we start catching sharks right off the bat. And sharks kept us busy, and we had one shark that hit both of our downrigger baits and caused a tangle. We ended up getting line in the motor. So then I had to try to get the line out of the motor. and it was kind of rocky. It was a little windier than they forecasted. We're drifting, just rocking side to side. So I'm like, put the anchor out. At least then it'll get the boat into the waves, and I can try to get this line out of the motors because it's just really hard to reach. And our anchor ends up getting snagged. So then we got to cut that off, and um, we're trolling, and we work towards the beach, and kind of an area we didn't really plan to be in. And it was noon, and we were on the phone with a friend from Jeff from Blue Line
Yeah, blue line.
Charters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thin blue line
yeah,
charters.
thin blue line, and
Good fishing guy.
yeah, and he's like, yeah, it's kind of that slow part of the day, where nothing's really biting. I'm like thinking, yeah, it is. It's about noon. By that time, bam, fish on.
Yeah, what was neat is they were catching them all around us that morning. It's kind of crazy, we looked there and somebody had one and somebody else had one. I'm like, what's wrong with our stuff?
Yeah,
And so, but patience paid off.
yeah,
They like me because I'm the patient one of the bunch. They may not totally agree with you on that, but
yeah.
I think we both decided that we weren't catching anything, especially
Hmm.
the winter.
I I am definitely the optimist on the boat.
and that is true.
And if I don't know if you guys if you've been following us a while, y'all saw last year in October we fished a redfish tournament, and we actually got third place in that. Um, But that was crazy too because we did not catch a single fish till 2 o'clock, or no, it was like 1:30,
Yeah.
and we had like a double, and the tournament ends at 3, and then at like 2:15 we caught our big one. And that morning we were surrounded by people catching fish all around us. We didn't. Um, so I think everyone was ready to quit
Yeah,
far before that, and I'm like, stick with it.
because everything gone wrong. Like the whole motor anchor thing, it set us back at least 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the actual, just you talking about the big one here this
Yeah.
couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Mhm.
But what happened when that fish hit? And the thing I'll tell you about kingfish when you're fishing shallow waters, when you get a big fish, 99% of the time they're gonna run east and they're gonna run a long way. And he blistered it or she blistered it.
Mhm.
And I mean, she took several hundred yards of line, I think. Didn't she?
Took a lot.
What did you think? Because I came up to the
Well,
front, like she took the rod, and I was back clearing lines. And when I came up to the front, there was a lot of line gone.
hmm
So were you like, dang,
Well,
it's
like it
just
kept running. I don't think y'all were listening or y'all were just handling all that. I'm
Mhm.
like, it's running. It's still running.
Yeah,
So we had to chase the fish down.
yeah.
And because when you get that many boats around, you want to stay on top of your fish so that somebody don't come by and cut your line
Mhm.
up. Fortunately, where we were at when we had to bite, we were away from most people. But
Yeah.
Maybe
our
what the
way into
Mayport
them.
area.
Yeah, so we left out of Mayport and we ran south towards St. Augustine. It wasn't quite halfway between. It was a little north of the halfway mark, but
Right. And,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and we had northeast wind blowing that morning, but kind of
Mhm.
steady.
And it was crazy because like it seemed different than last year. Like last year, I think the winning fish came from like Ponce, and there weren't many boats. I felt up north; it wasn't that crowded. But this year, there's just been a crazy bite. I don't know if it's because it's warmer. Off the pier, they've caught 60 kingfish so far off the
That's
pier.
unbelievable this early.
Yeah, so I think everyone kind of knew the fish were up here and the bite was up here. I believe the first place fish, the 46, came from red tops as well.
Mhm.
So there were some big fish caught this year.
A lot of 30s.
Okay, Jose said hey to everyone from Miami.
Hey Jose, how's it going?
Hey, Jose, we're going to be down your way here in a few weeks, won't we?
Yeah, hopefully.
End of July.
Yep, that's the plan. A little south of you, going to the
Mhm.
Keys. Um, so yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah,
Pretty thankful to get the fish in.
right. Shark chasing it. When the fish first came up, I mean, I could tell it was a nice fish.
Hmm.
We seen him what 2 times
We
with
seen a
good
couple times,
gap
but
on
no
him.
one said anything. No one's like, "Oh my gosh,
No,
it's huge."
I
We
knew it
just
was
like
big,
kept
but
our
I
mouth
didn't
shut.
say anything.
Hmm. Let's see. Blake asked if we were hooked up, can you chase it past the distance offshore?
Yes,
Yes, you can, but you cannot deploy any lines until you get back.
right. So
So
any lines you got out, you got to get them in, and you're gonna have that one fish on.
and that's something you really got to be aware of because like with us a lot of times we keep a line out, if a fish hits we may keep one line out still.
Especially the long line.
Yeah. So you have to be aware, if that fish is taking you out of bounds you got to bring in that line because you can't be fishing outside of bounds.
make sure you get your downriggers up out of the water, and also your sea anchor, because anything that fish can get around, he'll get around it. It don't take much, just a little rub, something rough like that, and it's gone.
Jose mentioned about the marlin tournament. I don't know if did y'all hear about that?
No.
Oh yeah, I seen that where I guess the shark bit it and he lost 3 point something $million.
Yeah, and that's crazy.
It's gonna happen to us.
Yeah, because we had a shark almost take ours, and in our tournament, that's a rule. You know, if your fish gets mutilated, it's disqualified.
And we were probably seconds away.
Yeah.
Did you tell them how the fish was actually hiding under the boat from the shark?
Yeah, that fish, it ran to the back, and I thought it was going to get in the motor, or I thought the shark had it because they both ran to the back, and I ran to the back to see if I could see it. Thankfully, it was like right up under the boat. It was using it for cover, I'm sure, and I was able. At first, the gaff got hung because the fish is so shallow. I wasn't ready. I had the 8 foot gaff, and it got hung in the T-top, so I had to get it out and then like lift it up and then gaff it.
It was a happy day when he hit that deck.
Yeah, I was so sure that the shark would have got it because it was like right there at it.
Yeah.
And Kayla navigated that fish around the boat several times and just really worked the rod good. That experience.
I watch a lot of Real Hazardous videos.
Yeah.
You've been fishing a lot lately too, so
yeah. And she won second place last year, guys. She got a 30.22 for lady angler. We got 16th overall. So it's funny. This year was so much more competitive because with a 30.22, we got 16th place, and she got second. And this year we wouldn't even placed. I think the 25th, paying money. I think the smallest was a 30.9. So just some
that's
years,
a nice fish to come. Yeah, I mean that many fish, and I think what do you say, 475 or 450 boats weighed in, or
took pictures, something. So
I mean, there was a lot of fish. It was really a good bite. Okay, and I think the bite's even still good now if you can find bait.
Yeah, if you can find bait. John wanted to ask about the devil rig and be nice to your dad.
I thought I was being nice.
About which one?
We didn't even release that one video yet.
Who are you telling to be nice, me or Kayla? Yeah, so
I'm used to the abuse.
I think we give and take pretty good.
I say we all try give it and take it.
I would argue there were times that they need to be nice to me because they're like, "Well, let's just quit. We don't know what we're doing. This is ridiculous."
Sometimes you need to be nice to us too.
Yeah,
you're saying stuff, and I'm just like.
During tournament time, we really do take it serious though, because put it all, everything we got into fishing it, try to be prepared for everything, but inadvertently there's always something that you're not prepared for. So
see, Leon said he's enjoying the live stream.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it, Leon.
Leon, my buddy there. Leon, in fact, Leon's a good reason why we went to the Red Tops. He pre-fished it the day before. So that was a big help for us. And Leon had a tough time getting bait that day, but I think he ended up back at the Red Tops after he got bait. But good guy.
And if y'all have seen our hunt video, we had a really cool hunt video with Leon and Al. So that was pretty cool. Okay, so there's another question I think I missed.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Are you talking about the one that's they caught a bunch of redfish, for example, with scars, or they?
Yeah. Usually, past scars don't count against you.
Right. Yeah, it's got to be something that affects the fighting ability of the fish every time.
And to be honest, like I don't really get that rule. Like if a shark bites your fish, I would think punishment is your fish weighs less.
Right.
I get like maybe in the old days, guys. I don't know if they were like stabbing their fish, harpooning them, shooting them, something stupid that was mutilating the fish. And I get not doing that, but like if a shark bites it, personally, I'm like, well, your punishment is shark took weight off of your total weight.
You lose weight rather than anything. Yeah.
So,
but hey, they make the rules. We don't. Huh?
Yeah.
We just have to abide by them.
Yeah. So Jose said the mahi are here, and it's a good size mahi too.
Hey Jose, I got a friend that's down in actually in the Keys now this week, and they were saying that the bite was just unbelievable. I guess they had a slow May, so they must be making up for it now. And shoot, we couldn't even get out of May because we here weather was so bad.
Let's see. Dustin asks, when are we coming up to NC, North Carolina, and Kingfish them?
Oh, that would be great. I tell you what, we really like to do up there. is go up and catch one of the big bluefin.
Yeah, I like to. I mean, even like big eye tuna, bluefin, like any of it. Y'all look like y'all have some really good tuna. Do you tuna fish up there, Dustin? Wait for the response.
Oh, there's another one.
Yeah.
Todd just logged in from Michigan, and he said, "Hey,
Hey Todd, how's it going?
How's the Michigan weather up there? I heard it was kind of hot a little bit. I can't read that. She says me a thing I can't see nothing anyhow. It's good as she said.
when you kick someone on the table, and you're like, why are you kicking me? You don't say it out loud.
She gets.
Why don't you look at mom?"
That's my movies.
So Dustin said no. Okay, that's cool. I'd like to try it. But kingfish would be fun. To be honest, like I kind of like I've been kind of looking at that Meat Mayhem series, which I guess is kind of like the SKA. I don't even know if the SKA. Think the SKA is still going. But they used to have the Pro Series where you would travel all around the South and
Right.
do like Key West,
Biloxi,
Biloxi,
places, yeah.
St. Augustine, South Carolina. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So
So they finished 18 this year. They watch all our videos and want to talk to us at the award show and ask about our double rigs.
oh yeah, double rigs. So that's a good question. There's two ways I do it. One's kind of new and experimental. One is just to do a J hook, a treble hook. Actually, no. You could do a J hook, treble hook. One pokey in the J, one in the treble, and the other one is pinned or free swinging. I actually like doing two J hooks, J hook, treble, and just because I think the baits swim better with J hooks in their nose versus treble. Also, I noticed sometimes with having like, especially if you had three treble hooks in a row, a lot of times that the fish will hit the back treble, and then that front treble actually ends up getting pinned in the back of the fish. So it's kind of like you get them in the shoulder, and they can fight a lot harder, right? Because if you get them by the tip of the mouth, the head, you can turn their head, but if you bow hook them, get them in the shoulder or tail or back, they're very hard to catch.
You better hold on because it's going to be different. They don't have to be a big fish either.
Yeah.
Hey, Todd said that the salmon are biting.
Oh, sweet.
Is that who we're going to salmon fishing with?
I don't know.
Is that the last
No, that's not Alaska.
Someone else. Separate story. But
always
yeah. So well, yeah. Travel before I forget the second rig I've been trying is to have like a J hook and treble hook, and up here have like a swivel and tie off a line that kind of offshoots, so it's not in a line, so the fish can kind of swim a little more freely.
One of the things we noticed when we did it, especially at two real close, one dies, then it's not long before it kills the other one too. So yeah, that's kind of the problem. But the bigger the pogies, though, the better off they live on it. Smaller pogies seem to have a little bit harder time.
Okay, cool. Got that. Sorry, salmon.
Salmon.
You caught salmon out in
yeah, in New Mexico. Went out there and did Pocatello salmon fishing. And guys, it's kind of pretty neat. You do it in I think November, and you snag them. So you got a weighted treble hook, and we were on the edge of an Indian reservation, and I had a good time doing it. Once I got the nick of it, I was popping them, catching salmon.
That's how you said you catch the angelfish too, or the spadefish.
We were out there looking for bait this past Sunday. Giant spadefish. What do you think? 10-pounders probably.
Yeah.
And I think if we got a treble hook, we have speared them before. Just got to have a mask historical. But I think a treble hook, as close as they were, you could snag them, and that would be a really good bite on the fish too.
We're used to harpoon.
Yeah, they're gonna try to harpoon.
Yeah.
I tried to catch one with a gaff. I touched it.
You actually touched one.
I touched
People have free-gaffed them before. So
yeah, so we'll see. They were huge, and the fish, the spade are edible. The only time I've ever heard of anybody catch them is usually either real small, like a piece of shrimp, or jellyfish. Will cut little chunks of it.
Yeah.
So
now we can talk some about what's kind of biting, what's going on, what's coming up, and what we're preparing for. Is that right, Hugh?
Yeah. What are we preparing for?
Well, snapper season, just a few weeks away.
the government has blessed us with two, count them on this finger, 2 whole days, to which it will be a madhouse, and we will have video of it watching.
Yeah, it's
So,
crazy.
yeah, it kind of look. Anybody ever see Jaws when they were going out for the shark? That's what it looks like on Snapper Day.
Yeah.
People on little 12-foot boats with 8 of them on there, and big old king or snapper or rigs. It's crazy.
Yeah. So we've got snapper season like the second weekend. I think it's like the 14th and 15th, Friday, Saturday, whenever that is.
Yeah.
The kingfish are obviously biting now, but you can also get cobia, sailfish, all sorts
Shark,
of
yeah,
fish.
sharks behind the shrimp boats.
Yeah,
That's
sharks.
that's
Yeah.
kind of a fun thing to do too.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Scallop season has opened more for the west coast of Florida, but not too far if you're in the northeast area.
Yeah, and then don't forget the lobster will be next month
Yep.
in the
Really,
July.
already next month?
Already.
Yeah,
June?
it
Dang.
is.
These guys have been lobstering ever since they were some of them before they were
Born?
born. Yeah, babies, and I don't even have to get out of the boat anymore. They just jump in there and catch them.
It's actually what's today?
Today's the 21st.
5 weeks to the day
Mhm.
from lobster season.
You know,
5 weeks.
what's the day? Wednesday.
Yep.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be at our limit and back at Sparky's eating today or what.
But at 8:22, we better be way back before then.
Yeah. Never know whether, but it's a lobster there and the weather's good. Usually we'll get them pretty quick.
Any opinion on a ribbon fish?
What's our opinion on ribbon? You don't want to know
Right
mine.
now?
We're not too. We haven't been impressed with ribbon fish
And
lately.
we've used ribbon fish a lot of years. It seems like we get more sharks and just kind of crazy fish
Yeah.
on them. All our big kingfishes I can ever remember came up either pogies. We got one with blue runner last Sunday because we couldn't find any pogies. But I'm just not a big fan of ribbon fish.
I mean, to be fair, we had a ribbon fish out when we caught the big one, which
I don't
I
even
don't know
think
if
a
that's.
shark ate them, did he?
We caught ribbon fish on sharks that day.
Yeah, what did we catch barracuda on the other day? Was it ribbon fish?
That was a big blue runner.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, like, yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. You think they'd be better. Recently, someone was cast netting for pogies and they caught ribbon fish. And maybe live fresh ribbon fish are good, but I don't know. I just haven't.
Yeah. I've just never been impressed with them. But
Yeah.
some of the other guys may be happy with them, and they look good in the water. The one we pulled all day long, I mean, nice, real pretty. But it wasn't the kingfish wasn't impressed, were they?
Yeah.
That's who we're out there trying to impress is the kingfish. No matter what we think, what we like.
Steve said, "What's up?"
How's it going, Steve? Steve was actually fishing with us last week, so you'll see him in a video soon.
Steve, we would tell you, I don't know where the bait went, but it was hard to find.
Bait was hard to get, and the kingfishing was a little slow, but we did pick up a couple. So
and a couple kind of in shallow water too. So.
It's funny how the fishing changes so fast, especially the bait. Like fishing was hot last weekend, and during the tournament weekend, I guess that's about 2 weeks ago. And this past weekend, it was definitely a lot slower, and the bait was just gone. So it's funny how bait just moves out. I heard it was either at Cumberland or south of the St. Augustine Pier, which isn't very helpful if you're going out of Mayport.
No.
But just so you know.
Blake said out of Ponce, ribbons on the downrigger will get some monster red snapper.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we catch a lot of red snapper on our downriggers trolling for kings. I think most this year might have been the first time we didn't do it, right?
So far.
We haven't yet, but it's early. If you catch the red snapper in state waters and they're, I believe, 20 inches, then you can keep them.
Right.
So they're only closed federally, which is rare to get one in state waters, but nowadays it's becoming less and less rare.
Right. We're getting what, 4 miles out, as close as 4 miles out. So
yeah, 4.5, 5 miles last year. We caught several snapper while kingfishing.
So I'm sure that the fish would probably be closer.
Yeah.
It's a matter of finding a little ledge or something out there in shallow water. But so the kingfishing should only get better as we go. We like to run when we're out there, especially in the beach, run one in the prop. Seems like we get a lot of good bites on the prop bait. So that's a technique you might want to run. We'll run 2 down, 2 out, and then usually 1 in the prop is our spread.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, pretty much it. Yeah.
So and another thing too, on these tournament days, your prep starts well before the tournament. Getting your boat, make sure it's right, your line, any rough spots on your line, your rig's made up. So when you get out there on fishing, you want to be ready.
Yeah. Yeah, I see where a couple of y'all saw where Kevin caught the ribbons in the bait. That's actually who I was thinking of.
Who's that?
Kevin Faber, I think, caught
Okay.
a bunch of live ones, and I've caught them before too. It's just
On the
been
pier, right?
no, even in the cast net.
Oh yeah, and I've caught them up in Ortega even before, but
Yeah, well, I caught them offshore.
yeah.
We were catching pogies once.
So I don't know how you would do them,
Mhm.
get them up there, but it would be neat if we could figure it out.
John asked, "Do we ever use whiting for bait?"
Actually, didn't we have one that day? Or that was
Yeah. I mean, we haven't normally, but I mean, I would. I just haven't.
Oh, I bet it would be good bait. That's a natural bait right here on the
Yeah.
beach for them.
Hmm.
Whiting, bluefish. Bluefish would be a real good bait. And
Hmm.
Spanish. We can even catch blue runners off the tip of the jetty sometimes.
Yeah.
John wants to see the bucks up there. I'm guessing those mounted.
Okay, these are the little ones, John. Jeremy's got a beautiful 11 point up there. These are 2 little ones I killed, but the ones that they've got are massive bucks.
I got the one. If you look up video this year in Georgia, that I killed an 11 point. So that one's in the process of mounting. So hopefully,
thanks to
maybe a couple more. Yeah, a couple more months. I think he thought it'd take around 9 or 10.
yeah.
So maybe I don't know, maybe 2 months, 2 or 3.
We'll have it up there, and hopefully in our next live broadcast we can show it, or one of our live broadcasts.
Hmm. So we got snapper fishing coming up soon.
Right. And we had a really good sea bass year this year.
Yeah.
For probably what past 4 or 5 years, I think the snapper had ate the larva or something, and the sea bass hadn't been big. But this year we had a really good sea bass year and some big sea bass.
Yeah, because we even went out without Jeremy one time.
Yeah.
Caught plenty.
Yeah, I think we limited out that day, and early.
Yeah, there was 4 of us.
Yeah.
Caught some big red snapper too.
So yeah, snapper, we got lobster season coming up, and of course there's still more tournaments. I don't know if any of you guys are fishing any more tournaments this year.
Yeah.
King Busters this weekend.
Greater Jacksonville is what, 3 weeks or so?
Yeah,
3 or 4
Ancient
weeks?
City, I think is the same weekend as
There's
Snapper.
a red snapper one too.
Yeah,
like
the
snap.
Snapper Slapper.
Snapper Slapper. I think it's out of Palms.
There might be an O Snap.
Maybe there's a few.
I think there's a few.
Right. You got 2 days, so you have to squeeze me up here from one fish camp to the other to weigh them in.
Yeah. So that should be good. Hopefully it'll be good weather. Last year it was pretty rough.
Yeah, we didn't get out very far.
It seems like the last 2 or 3 years, the last time we got out when the weather was good, we slayed the big snapper and got into the cobia bite and kingfish, and it was really a good day.
Yeah.
Rough, a little rough that day, but it was a good bite.
Alan says more big bucks to come soon.
We can hardly wait. Had a fantastic time up there, Alan. You guys, first class up there. You know how to grow them, and you know how to take care of them too.
The deer or the people?
Yeah, us too. Yeah. We ate good there. Fellowship was unmatched. Just super nice guys.
So yeah, thank you. We do really appreciate that. Thank you. What was I gonna say? Kayla, what were you gonna say?
Nothing.
Yeah.
But you're talking about this kingfish tournament, snapper tournaments.
Yeah, so I know we're doing the North Florida King of the Beach.
Yeah.
That one should be fun. It's kind of like the old school. It's a beach tournament. They give you 4 miles. Not sure why 4 versus 3 versus 5.
3.5.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. But hopefully that'll be fun. I kind of like those.
Then we got full
they're
of
close
bowl.
to the beach. They're they're short.
Yeah.
One day.
Got full of bowl. I might want to try flounder pounder.
Yeah, that would be
I think
fun.
we did it one time, but I'd like to do it again.
Yeah, that's a good cause too. Actually, North Florida King of the Beach and Flounder Pounder are both supporting good.
I think his guy's name. Last name
Let's
Davis.
see.
For which one?
They run stuff on the pounder right now.
Might be. Yeah, I know they're different.
What app do you use to check the weather before you go out?
It's a great question. I use Windfinder and the NOAA forecast. Sometimes Windy. I think Windy is similar to Windfinder. It's kind of tough. You know, reading the weather is the hardest part, and even the weathermen get it wrong all the time.
Right.
So I try to judge based off the wind and direction and what I'm fishing for. So, for example, if it was a west wind during the summer when the kings are on the beach, if it was west like 15, even 15 to 20, if I was strictly on the beach, I could fish it, you know, like Kobe on the beach. It kind of shields you from the big waves.
What's the problem with a lot of west wind though?
It seems to create a thermocline in the summer.
Exactly.
So I don't like that.
East winds clean the water up. West winds.
Right. East winds clean it. North winds seem to be usually a little rough. I mean, it seems like a south wind and a north wind, if they were the same speed, say they're both 10, I feel like south is probably going to be less than 10 and north is probably going to be more. It's going to be rougher.
Okay. You can have a snapper tournament during snapper season, so the tournaments are on those 2 days.
Right.
That's why.
Yeah.
I guess you get to keep them.
Yeah, most.
I ain't giving my snapper up.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna do a
for
tournament.
about $1,000 I made, but
Yeah, I guess depends.
yeah,
Depends how much.
Yeah. And what month do the Wahoo start firing up?
It seems like there's always a good run in November and December. It gets hard because of the holidays and it's hunt season, so we don't usually get to hit it.
plus
But
the weather's real unstable that time of the year too.
yeah, but then so pretty much November, December, if I can go wahoo fishing, I will. And then January, February, March, even early April, it can be going strong. It can fluctuate, whether they're here or not, but those are all good months that I would wahoo fish if I could.
Do you target a specific depth for the red snapper?
Well, back in the old days we did, but the biggest snapper I've ever caught in my life was just 10 miles out. And I was caught him when I was trolling for kings, as a matter of fact. But the big fish have come in because I guess the regulations and they just are able to grow. But
yeah, I mean, there are good like the problem with snapper fishing. I feel like because it's 2 days and it's so crowded, if I can go further out, I will, just because there's less of a crowd, and I feel like I can fish better.
right,
If I can get 20 miles or more, um, I know there's some big ones there, probably more big ones there, or I should say less little ones
right,
out
exactly.
there. There are more little ones inshore. There are still big ones inshore, but you may have to go through more little ones inshore.
Yeah, the problem is getting past the little ones to get a big one.
Yeah.
The little ones, and then little ones will come real high in the water column too. In the old days, you rarely caught them up high, but now we get them up 30 feet. But from the bud, and they may even come up higher.
Yeah.
Dustin said, "Congrats on the second place finish and first place, lady."
Thanks, Dustin.
Yep, Kelly was the one that done it. She pulled it out for us.
It was a team effort. Yes, had the rod. You saved it from the shark.
Yeah.
Dad,
very exciting finish. We were, as you can look at video. Yeah, as you look at video, we were very happy at the end of that.
I think we were calm until we saw the shark, and then once we got in the boat, we were ecstatic. Yeah, really excited.
Yeah, the shark. I'm like, oh, the shark got it. Yeah. I'm curious what other boats around us thought, because I know we were screaming right afterwards.
Right. Hey, now something else, and this is kind of out to our viewers. Let us know what you guys want to see on the show. If you got any suggestions, we're always open to that. But we try to do a lot of different things. We had a gator hunt. We just couldn't get a hold of them. We got one.
Yeah.
But looking for the bigger ones. We're thinking of crabbing, and it's kind of a neat way you crab at night with lights, and also we're going to try that, and just some different kind of things that are not in the norm.
Yeah.
You see from Chris, he said, "What's up with the lack of bait? Cold water?" I think it's all the boats.
I think the boats really hurt us that day of the tournament. But
even now,
I think a couple of things can affect bait. Thermocline is one of the big things. We had a system that came up the coastline, I know it spreads. It busted up the bait for a little bit, but then they came back. So I think I think it's a combination of everything. But
Yeah, I don't think the water's cold. I mean, I know the surface is fine. It's nothing
right, it's in the
too
70s,
different.
which normally I think it is around 80 this time of year, but still 76, 78 is
Yeah,
plenty warmed up.
but we'll see pogies like early in the year, like
I mean, yeah, I
April.
meant for the Kings, but yeah, you're right on the Pogies.
Yeah, so I don't know. I did notice it was really clear water, even further inshore. I don't know if
Yeah,
clear pushes
and
them.
I have heard that when you get the water stirred up and
Hmm.
shallow, that the Pogies will come in there to avoid the big fish, and so we'll see.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
What else we got?
sure, yeah. By the way, if any of you guys ever see a nice rebuild boat, like a 35 contender, 36 yellowfin, Freeman,
Yeah,
Invincible, if you guys could just like let me know one, I could like to redo a boat build kind of thing, kind of fix it up. Basically, if you
yeah,
find just the hole,
yeah.
please
We just
let
want to
me
do our
know.
own motors. You can have three blown heads or Yamahas, whichever is worse.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of you guys are Yamaha fans, but we've had Yamahas, Evinrudes,
Hmm.
Suzuki's, and we've been happiest with our Suzuki.
Hmm. Darren asked if we use Seymour mapping. Yes, yes, we
Very
do.
much.
Hmm.
And Jeremy's actually kind of got that down to a science. But I was a little bit skeptical. If you ever look at the Seymour mapping, it's you would think it covers like the whole area, but it doesn't. There's just little sections.
Right.
But they are adding more on, I guess, every year.
Yeah,
So
they just came out with a version 3 for our area. It's still like, I mean, the areas, I mean, it's been a huge help already,
mhm.
just
Like
especially if you're
Rex and all,
new.
yeah, it really narrows down to
Mhm.
Rex and stuff when you're.
Yeah,
I'd like to get one for the keys.
yeah.
That's yeah, that would
Yeah.
be pretty neat. Not only just the Seymours, but read your ocean too.
Mhm.
Those slicks that you see where the water comes together and it might be a little choppy on one side, slick on the other. That's a little current line you might want to
Mhm.
work. Watching for your bait is a big thing because you ain't got a bait, you're probably not going to have a whole lot of fish. And even though we weren't getting a lot of pogies, there is some baits out there. I'm not sure what it is. I guess it could be a little bonita or bluefish or what. But we do see some bait, but they're hard to catch in the cast net, whatever they're learning.
Mhm. Yeah.
Oh, we have a Garmin that we use.
No,
Okay.
Ray Marine.
Ray
We have a
Marine.
Garmin, but we also have a Ray Marine. And Seymour doesn't work on Garmin.
Yeah.
I think you can get it on Simrad, Ray Marine, uh, something else.
I don't remember.
There's a couple, but Garmin is not one of them, unfortunately.
Right. So what else we got going on?
Flounder fishing tips.
Flounder fishing is was my thing from way back in the day. I've caught
Mhm.
a lot of flounder, and in fact, I've caught a few this year. You know, the tips are knowing where to go, fish those mouths of those creeks on the dropping tide. On the incoming tide, maybe the inside of those creeks right at the beginning.
Mhm.
Um, I like to use a half ounce to a 1 ounce weight. I'll use a short leader, 6 inch, and then I'll use usually a wide gap or a keel hook for them. And I like to use bigger baits. When you go to most of your bait stores, you get the little tiny mud minnows, but
Mhm.
I want to catch big fish. Croakers is a real good bait, a bigger croaker, a bigger, I guess, mullet and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
So here's something that I find funny. First off, my dad's a really good flounder fisherman. We'll do some videos. Um, but like my dad, like will catch a big bait in the cast net, like a big old bait. Like, oh man, I wish I had that for flounder. And I'm like, but then we catch like a bait that's like this, like a blue runner. He's like, ah, I think that's too big for the kingfish. I'm like,
Right.
no, like I would pull a bait like this big for a king. I mean,
Right.
kingfish is way bigger than a flounder. Like,
And pogies, by the way, are good flounder bait too.
mhm,
And keep them alive. But yeah, so working those mouths and stuff. Your soft baits are good too. Your what some of the scented ones that they have out there, and gulps and
gulp, yeah. Mhm,
things like that with the lead head,
mhm.
half ounce lead heads and stuff.
We'll have to have you teach them because I really don't have flounder now, especially with a kale hook. I can't stand kale hooks. I haven't figured them out yet. Yeah. I'm like, give me a circle hook or give me a J hook. I can't do this in between.
Yeah, I like him though.
Okay, an idea for a video: striper fishing around the bridges.
That's actually one that we talked about, and I think they said usually November, December is the best time. So yeah, we're going to try that. I actually caught a striper when we were floundering or shrimping one day up around the Ortega Bridge, I believe it was. So yeah, they're definitely out there and they're fine. Redfishing, of course, the run it comes usually late September and October. That's a blast.
Yeah,
good family thing. It's pretty easy to do to get out there. Check out some of our videos and we'll show you how to do it. And I like doing that. I think your family, you sit out and eat pizza, listen to the football game. That's what we do.
yeah.
Sing. We don't sing good. We do like to catch wahoo, don't we? That's an inside joke.
Hey, CC just joined. He said looking forward to Saturday. So for all you guys watching, we're going to be fishing with Captain CC Corey of the North Florida Angler. He does YouTube videos. He's kind of in the Black area. He'll fish out of Mayport, St. Augustine. He does really big bass and really big tarpon, among other fish. Reds.
Very good. The last time we went fishing, man, we rode around a couple of little tight circles here and here, set the anchor out, and once we did, it was on. So
yeah, 60 bass later.
Yeah, my compliments to him, and the fishing was fantastic.
Yeah. So if you guys like, bass fishing, all that fishing, any kind of fishing, go ahead and subscribe to North Florida Angler, and you'll see him on one of our videos coming up soon. And you can see him on our bass video from I think we posted a month or so ago. So that was pretty cool. I think otherwise it's kind of the main things we wanted to go over. So appreciate you guys tuning in. All the support you give the channel, all the comments, everything. We love that. We appreciate it. If you guys need anything else, want to support the channel, we got our t-shirts. If you ever want a performance shirt, t-shirt, performance shirts on our website, by all means, check those out. It's what we wear, like just tournaments or
very very lightweight.
We need to wear our.
If you want to stay high from the sun, they're long sleeves and they're very cool, breathable shirts.
They let you take them off the hook yourself, not like the guy at Disney.
He did, but CC was concerned about the hooks near my dad's hand.
I wonder why.
We've seen
you get a hook or two in your hand, and then you get a bad rap from there on out. Actually, down in Venice, he wouldn't even let me grab a lure that had a hook in it. The cat cabin.
Yeah.
Like, don't let him get around the hook.
But it's kind of nice at Disney. Like we didn't have to bait them, take them off. You just reeled it.
Silver guy. What was his name? Was it Bill? William?
Yeah.
Will. Yeah. Bootstrap Will.
And then Central Charter said, "Congrats on that big king for the win."
Thank you, Central Charter. We appreciate that.
Very, very exciting for us.
All right, guys. Well, we will be posting a video this Friday. Different shorts. If you haven't already, ring the bell for notifications. If you know anyone who likes fishing shows, if you could share our channel on your Facebook or Instagram, or tell people about that. Tell people about us. We would appreciate that. Anything you guys want?
Yeah, y'all guys keep those lines tight. Hopefully, we'll see you out there. Just don't go to our hole. No, I'm just kidding. We'll share it if you don't get too close.
You want to go boat fishing one night? Central Charter said they'd take us.
Sweet.
Hey, speaking of bow fishing, for those spade fish, I mean that would be a blast out there. I mean there were a ton of them, and I think it'd be fun to pop stick them.
We'll have to give it a try. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you on the next video. And thanks for watching.
See you next time.